All right, guys, welcome to your next onboarding series. I am going to go over constraints on your account. Constraints control your drip messages, email messages, RVM messages, event reminder messages. Every one of our campaigns has constraints. This can be your throttle. This can be when they're allowed to send out. This is timing. This is everything, okay? So we're going to go over how to view and edit constraints in your system. Okay, so we're going to start up here at the top because it's the first one we got here, which is revisit rate at renewal, and we're going to go over the constraints on this account. Okay, all built for you, should be all built the same. So when you come into your drip message, now all of this is under tools. Okay, we went to tools, we went to SMS drips, and we clicked all the way on the right side the plus button, which is how we edit our systems, our campaigns. So if we go into this account, we hit the plus, it's going to take us to the drip. This is all of your constraints. I click this little view button because I want to see the extended version of it, okay? So this is what your constraints mean. This is your throttle value, okay? This is how many messages are going to be sent out in what time period, okay? So every 60 minutes, we're going to send out 5 messages, okay? Future follow-ups. This means that if you are sending drip messages out to somebody, if they respond to your messages, they respond to your email, your ringless voicemail, or your text message, will this person get future followed up with through the automation? Answer is no. So in this case, if this person responds to one of these text messages, it will shut the campaign off and they will not get any of the future messages that this campaign has, okay? Next is block days. Are there any specific days, holidays, that are blocked, and are there any specific weekdays that are blocked on the account? So in this case, this message will send out drips Monday through Saturday, if it's any one of these, and it will send it out on every holiday except for Thanksgiving and Christmas, okay? Every single one of these drips has constraints. It is important to understand what they are before you trigger them. So for example, quote follow-up. Quote follow-up has a constraint where future follow-up says yes, because if somebody responds to any one of these messages, chances are they're not saying, yes, let's bind it today. They probably are saying something to the effect of, I haven't taken a look at the proposal yet. I'm going to talk to my wife about it tonight. Let's talk tomorrow. Everything looks great. Let's go ahead and bind this in a few days. Chances are you're going to need to follow up with them again and make sure that they finally bind, okay? So they will continue to send out drip messages on every single one of these until you remove that person from the group, okay? Now, if the future follow-up is yes, how you remove somebody from that group is the second they respond to your text message. Let's say Matt responded to my text message. Once he responds, okay, I'm going to come into his account by clicking the eyelid, and then I'm going to hit the X on the group that is triggering it. So for example, if I was on the quote follow-up campaign, which has a future follow-up as yes, I hit leads not quoted. So let's go ahead and hit quote follow-up. If I'm on the quote follow-up campaign, all right, and I responded yes, that I wanted to move forward and bind this, I can come into this account by hitting the eyelid and hit the X on the group that triggers the quote follow-ups. I'm not going to remove the other drips or the other groups because this has nothing to do with their messages. I just am removing them from the group that triggers the message. Now, if you're looking at an account and you're saying, Matt, I don't know what group is triggering the message, okay? If you don't know what group's triggering the message, in your notes over here, you'll see, you won't have these because I just did these, you'll see day 0, day 3, day 5, or whatever message sent out. You're like, hey, what does this mean, day 0 message are sent out? Well, let's go over to the standard logs and see what message sent out, okay? Oh, look, day 0 sent out. Let's view that. Okay, hey, Matt, it's Clone, your new insurance agent. Thank you for trusting us for your insurance. Over the next few days, we'll be updating you via email and text. Oh, this is a thank you for business. This must be the onboarding drip, right? This will give you an idea of what that drip message is that they received, okay? This information will tell you what went out. Now, if you scrolled a little bit down, if you scrolled a little bit below, you'd see and this is kind of our test one, so it doesn't really help in a lot of aspects, but you can see, hey, lead moved to these different groups, lead moved to this group. These are all moves that I did on the pipeline. But if this was a standard account, you would only see the day 0 messages gone out, and you'd say lead moved to onboarding BFY, or quote follow-up. You say, oh, it's the quote follow-up that's sending out. Got it. Let me go ahead and X that out, okay? That's constraints. Very important. So here's what I want you to do. Your call to action for the day, okay? I want you to go into your text message, into your tools, and I want you to pick one of these drip campaigns that you are going to fire off. You should at this point know how to trigger these events. And I want you to come in and I want you to go through the constraints on, say, the home no auto and say, great, future follow-up no. Am I comfortable with that? Am I comfortable with the Saturday messages going out? If you're not comfortable with those, this is a very easy fix, okay? This is going to be the fix. You're going to hit the plus sign. You're going to do what's called duplicating your drip, okay? If you want to find a video on that, you come into Agency Elephant's Facebook page, their YouTube channel. And I'm not going to go to the picture to edit it. Let me go back. I thought it'd take me to the home page. You're going to go to the Agency Elephant YouTube channel and you're going to type up in this search bar, duplicate, okay? This is going to pull you up to how do I duplicate a drip sequence, all right? But this is what you're going to do for it. Are you ready? You hit the plus sign, so it's like a new drip. You hit the load setting. We're going to do the home no auto because that's the one that we are going to trigger on that I'm picking for you to do. You can pick one of the drips you want to trigger. I'm going to pick home no auto, right? The whole constraints and everything pop up the way they should be. Change the future follow-up if you want to. Make sure you pick your days. Make sure you pick the holidays. Pick the start time you want these messages to go out for the next series of days, because when you import the list, they're going to go out immediately if it's within this window. But you can pick when these messages start so you don't send anything out too early, okay? So you hit that, you hit submit, I've read, submit it, and you're going to have a new system where the constraints aren't Saturdays, right? No Saturdays, no holidays, 10 to 6, okay? Now you're going to come back and you're going to go to the original home no auto and you are going to hit inactive, okay? So you only have one actively running, that's this one. I usually tend to not delete out any of the originals, just to make sure that I don't delete out anything that I want to come back to at any point, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and delete this duplicate we did. That's your call to action. Pick one of these drip messages over on the left. I'd prefer it be one of our bundling, one of our winbacks, our quotes not closed, aged leads. Manually add people into your system into those if you don't have them already into your Agency Elephant. Do 10 at least. 20 is preferable, but that is your call to action for the day. We'll see you tomorrow.